All right, this is a week 9 check-in. We're looking pretty good today. I think our new low is 3022. So that kind of came out of the blue. I am feeling good. I'm definitely feeling hungry. Only eating till around 80 to 90% has been working so far. Weight has been undulating. I had a pretty decent squat workout today, or not today, this past week. We did 140 kilos for a top set of 5. And I'm trying to do a new modality of training, because before, when I was really strong, I would try to work out really hard. And I would try to work out really hard for a lot of volume, which I know is good for hypertrophy, but it was kind of counterintuitive, because I would not eat to fuel those workouts, which is crazy. But now I'm eating to fuel those workouts, but I don't have enough time or mental space right now to work out with that frequency and that intensity that I used to work out at, which is crazy. But it's kind of like an off topic. But I remember, essentially I feel like I peaked in physical capability so far in my life at around, let's just say 20 to 23 years old. I was really strong. I was very cardiovascularly fit, and I was explosive. A lot of things have been coming across my For You page on TikTok and YouTube of people saying that there have been issues of people saying that, oh, I remember myself in my prime when they were back in high school and just graduated college. I think like that's a valid feeling to have, because if you look at Mike Tyson, right? This is going to one end of the extreme. Mike Tyson, he had his peak in his career right at that time, 18 to 20. And then everything else kind of fell off because of his mental state and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But everyone has different life circumstances. So if people feel like they've peaked in high school, yeah, that's great. Like you had time to work on your craft back then. And now you don't really have the same time to work on your craft. And it's kind of sad. I wish I had the same amount of time that I did back then to work on myself, work on my body. But I'm being pulled in different directions, and I have different interests now. I felt like before I would just hammer out strength, 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 strength. My mentality was just getting after it, and I would just destroy the weights. Now, my mentality whenever I do the weights is, how does it feel? How do I feel? Can I do it? I'm going to do it. And then I did it. Nothing too crazy, but overall pretty good. So just trying to get that mindset just tossed to the side. And I kind of want to talk about how I'm kind of looking. So we're around 4 minutes in, and I want to talk about skin. So this is the first time in, I don't know, nine weeks since I've checked in where there have been skin problems caused to my weight loss. So before, when I started eating one meal a day and I was on my weight loss journey, I noticed that when I was big, I'd get like random marks on my skin, just like acne or whatnot on my forearm, right? Out of all places, on my neck, on my jawline. And it was just warts and stuff. It was just not not a good look, right? And it felt uncomfortable, it felt painful, and I just kind of wanted to get rid of it. It was just body acne in general was just not good. But I noticed that as soon as I switched over from eating multiple bad, unhealthy, I would consider unhealthy meals, to one meal a day, to eating whole foods and trying to minimize the amount of junk that I'm eating or ultra processed foods that I'm eating, I noticed that my skin has gotten substantially better, right? So when I was big, I've accumulated a lot of stretch marks over the years, right? My genetics have predisposed me to getting a lot of stretch marks, and and I'm proud of them. You know, I'm proud because it it reminds me of where I've been in the past and where I've taken my body. Granted, not to the most healthiest places, but you know, I'm trying to push it back to a range where it is healthy. And I'll just kind of be a little more vulnerable with you guys on the camera. But as you can see, I have stretch marks here. I have stretch marks to the side. I just ate a full dinner, so I'm feeling a little distended. I have a full dinner inside of me. I have stretch marks right here and stretch marks over here. Thankfully, I don't really have stretch marks back here. But one thing I did notice is right here, there's a patch of like raised redness. It itches like no other, but it's also bumpy and it's not serous or anything. It's not oozing of any sort of weirdness. It's just itchy. And the only way for me to get rid of the itchiness is to moisturize, which is really frustrating because I was under the impression that when you lose weight, you're not supposed to get any more stretch marks. Because I don't know if you guys know this, when you guys get stretch marks and they're new, they're red. They're red and they itch a lot, right? And you get stretch marks from being big, right? Or you stretch your skin, typically from being bigger. And you start itching it and it's just uncontrollable. Even no matter what you do, it's just super itchy and it's uncomfortable. So I looked it up, and this raised red mark or patch of red is due to me losing weight pretty quickly or too quickly, which I don't think I'm losing weight that quick. Maybe I'm shrinking too quickly, but I feel like I've been losing around a pound or two a week, which isn't that fast. And my weight undulates a lot. So maybe it's my overall dimensions are getting smaller. Maybe I'm recomping, which I don't get how I am because I'm not able to work out like I really want to. But my diet has been on point. I feel like I've been eating clean 80, let's just say 85% of the time. The other 15% of the time I've been partying with my food, to put it lightly. But I looked it up, and the reason why I think I Gemini'd it, and I went deeper and deeper and deeper. So at first they were saying, oh, it could just be between the skin folds that you're getting this raised red mark. And I was just thinking, well, if it's just skin folds, then why is it not on the other side, right? But I kept asking that stuff, and I noticed that when I was bigger, I don't know why, but on my right side of my belly, with the raised red mark, it was protruding more. So there was more fat stored on that side, I guess, or the fat cells were bigger, and now they're shrinking a lot more. And I feel like it looks more even to the left side. And essentially, the dermis or the skin shrank pretty quickly or too quick, and the dermis is essentially collapsing on itself, and it's not able to collapse in a way where it collapses uniformly, but it's like jagged like that. And that's what's causing the itching apparently. And the only thing that they recommended was obviously see a doctor, right? But if I go to the doctor, it's just gonna be a copay, and then they're gonna make me moisturize and probably go on hydrocortisone and something super silly that I could just do by myself. So I'm just gonna try to moisturize. I am going to moisturize because this itch is super annoying, and I really want to get rid of it. But other than that, the cut's been going good. I haven't really been focused on the scale too much, even though my low was 302 and I feel like my body weight has been climbing. So as of this morning, it was 305 too. I wasn't really stressed because before I felt like when my weight was going up and down and up and up and up, and then it went down, I'd feel some type of way whenever the scale would just keep going up. Like I'd feel a little anxious, I'd feel a little stressed. But now I see the weight and it's elevated above my previous low. I just think to myself, it is what it is, you know? Like I'm doing the proper things to get things right. And if in 3 or 4 weeks I don't see a new low, then I'm probably doing something incorrectly. Or, yeah, I'm probably doing something incorrectly. But, yeah, no. I feel good. I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, keep tracking what I'm tracking, and I'll keep you guys posted on everything else. Hopefully I can get stronger while maintaining this deficit. We'll see. Push, pull, squat, bench, and then instead of the hold, I'm doing grippers daily. So those are the main workouts that I'm doing. But I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for catching up. Peace.